Hi, welcome to Who Am I Today with Summer D, and I have an 80s spring and summer 1984 catalog to show you. Um, I have marked all the pages, and I'm hoping I can get through the whole entire thing because I think I marked more. Look, I think I marked more pages than I did last time. So, anyways, I ended up finding a whole bunch of good stuff in here. So I am wearing what I think is my 80s. I felt like it was kind of 90s, but I think it was 80s too. Shirt where we used to take T-shirts and we had this little squeeze. I forgot what you call it, but you squeeze it like it's like in a little glue holder, like you know how you buy glue and you squeeze it out. So it was kind of in those smaller ones, and they were glittery and they had different colors, and we made like designs on shirts, and then we put the jewels on them. So I have an 80s shirt here with the flowers that have been done painted on, and then they use that colorful glue stuff around them, and then they have little jewels on it, and then I have my 80s beads. So we're styling for the 80s magazine today. So alrighty, so I'm just going to start straight with page number 1, and there is a whole lot of stuff in here. I think my favorite is going to be the bed sets, probably, in this one. Like the comforter sets were so cool. So anyways, let's start with just like, this is the very beginning of the book, and it's women's clothing, and I'm going to start with these two dresses right here. This very classic look. So you know there's all different styles in these magazines. So this is the 80s. It is not going to be the 80s like you think you know it if you're younger. So the rock star style, I call it the rock star style 80s, which is what everybody feels like 80s is. This is the realistic 80s. So rock star style, I'm thinking like Cyndi Lauper was the most, and I loved her outfits, okay, because she was like the coolest, wildest dresser in the 80s. I feel like if you haven't had a chance to ever see that, look her up just to look at her outfits. I'm not saying all the songs are like 100% great, but her outfits, she was just cool. Like she had like, her hair was like, I think short on one side and longer on the other, which was a style when I was in school in junior high, I remember. And she had different colors going on, and she always wore like the colorful tights and little shoes, but then her skirt, it would be probably like multiple skirts. Like one would be like plaid or something, and the other one would be like what do you call that, crinoline? There's like crinoline that we used to put under skirts. She just had layers. There was just layers upon layers of stuff, and so to me she was my favorite when it comes to like rock star dressing. She was my favorite. But this book is not about that. This book is the realistic, what everybody normal people wore in the 80s. And Sears was a big thing in the 80s, and normal people went to Sears. So that's what I'm going to show you today. But there's going to be some cute stuff. So it's just probably, if you're older, you're going to recognize it and you'll be like, yeah, I remember that. If you're younger, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that was part of the 80s. That's not what I've been wearing for the 80s, right? So these dresses right here, I think are super cute. The little pink one and little blue one. You kind of see the jewelry styles there with the beads, and then the hairstyles, and it gets better as it goes. I'm just starting out with the beginning of the book, and this one reminds me of Ralph Lauren. I feel like I kind of think of Ralph Lauren when I see this look here. And let's see what else we got. I have all these little pieces of white paper that I put in here to hold all my pages. This is, I feel like it's just kind of, I feel like it's like the working woman's attire, or you know, like what a mother would wear or something. These type of outfits, you can see there. And then we did have those blouses. Remember the blouses that we look for now when we go thrifting with the bows that tie? So those were a thing. And I'm going a little faster because there's a lot to look at. Here is some more of those blouses, and this one, see how it has the bow, but then I actually like this one. I like the It's like almost like graph paper, if you can see the design in her dress. It's little squares, but it's not checks. And I love, and I actually have, do y'all remember me showing you this sweater? I actually have these. Do you remember me showing you this? I have a red one and a white one, I think. It's like the exact same sweater with the pockets that I found thrifting. And then over here, I love these black and whites. These are cute. I would wear these right now. All the little black and whites blouses with the bows. And then this is getting into the misses section. So the misses, and I just love how back in the day, even in videos, like in videos, the videos made more sense and they went more to whatever the video was, you know, whatever the song was about. Or like the images in magazines and stuff, they were actually doing something. Like here they're playing tug of war. And it's cute. See? Like they were actually doing something. I don't know. Like it's just, it was more like real life or something, you know? I don't know. I liked it. Like on this one, it's like they're on the coast there riding the bicycle, but it's showing you the front and back of the outfit. And then over here, look at the little patterns on the pockets of the jeans. I think those are cute. And I love these bathing suits. So which one's your favorite? I like the black and white one and the one right below it with the weird triangle thing. I just like anything that looks odd. But then that one at the top with the kind of ruched, I think that's how you say that, material in the front. But those are cute. And I just like all the colors and the prints that used to be back in the day. I know I always say that, but that was my favorite part of it. This, it looks like she's like Sherlock Holmes or something. Like, I don't know where she's going. It could be the fisherman aesthetic. They do have an umbrella. But that's kind of cute with the hat. And the dresses, I do love both of these. You know the green one, I wouldn't wear that jacket with it, but I would wear the green dress. And I love the one beside it. That one's my favorite on this page. That's very cute. I remember, I actually sometimes find dresses like that still, and I like them. I still like them. I love, okay, well this one has that ruffle front there on it, but I love that red one. See the red one? Absolutely love that. I would wear that right now. I think it's so cute. So cute. Oh, and we used to have, and I remember this, we used to have, see the little purses and shoes at the bottom there that match? They like match your outfits. I think that's cool. I think these are so fun. They're so fun to look at. I have to keep putting the book down. They're heavy books. They're like, look how fat this thing is. So I'm having to balance it and pull the papers out that I put in there. Look at those little dresses, like little classic black and white dresses with the little shoes. Like the first one, she has on little black shoes, and the other one has little white shoes. I guess they were called kitten heels. Like we had, and those are so hard to find now. I've went and I've looked for kitten heels, and I can't find a whole lot of them, and they were comfortable. You know, now everything's like, I mean, you know, normal people, I can't wear those. I have to have the little kitten heel. So I can't find them anywhere though. So, and look at these dresses. So this reminds me of Pretty in Pink. I don't know if anybody's seen that. But the movie Pretty in Pink, I'm not saying it's appropriate in some places. So, you know, there are some scenes in there. But this is kind of what she wore to the prom. Was that pink one that she handmade in the movie. I thought that was cute. And this little pink dress right here in the middle, I like it. Look at the way they did the top, the way it's ruffled, and then the bottom is pleated. So that's pretty neat. Okay, and I'm assuming this was like maybe bridesmaid dresses and then the wedding dress. So there's some bridesmaids. It was very froofy. There's the wedding dress. You see it. It was pretty though. So different from what we do today, I feel like. And she even had, oh yeah, she even had the hat. Do you see the little hat she's holding there? I remember for Easter, and I think there's some kid ones in here I was going to show you, but for Easter, every year when we were younger, we would have kind of froofy dresses like this, and then we would go pick out the little hat like that and a little purse like that matched the dress. And it was always an Easter thing usually. And then, okay, just move my bookmark here. These were nursing outfits in the 80s, and they were actually in the Sears catalog. And you see what they look like. There was the dresses. I personally like, so there's little pants outfits. I like the little bib looking top one. You see it? So that was kind of the style of those. And then in the jewelry, I thought it would be cool to show you some gold. I'm looking at them as I go too. I did look at them, but I looked at them real quick. But here is some of the rings that they had. You can see them that they had in the 80s. There was a lot of gaudy gold. I love gold. And the brass gold, the yellow gold. That is my favorite. But interesting enough, when I was younger, I did not like it at all. I liked platinum. I wanted everything to be platinum. And then probably when I started really getting into vintage, I'm wanting to think, I'm trying to think, maybe about when I was 30 or in my 30s, I really started liking yellow gold, and I've never left it since. Like, I love the yellow gold. Okay, this was a real treat for me. I loved these. I don't know who remembers these. They were like little games on your phone, or not on your phone, on your watch. They're not smartwatches either. This is all they do. It was just like a watch with like a little game on it. It was really cute. And then down here, this was my favorite. There is Garfield, the Smurfs, and Care Bears. Do you see them on the watches down there? Those were so cute. I miss stuff like that. Wish we still had that. I would wear it now if we had it. So Garfield would probably be my favorite. And then next in line, Care Bears. Smurfs, they're pretty good, but alrighty. And then these, I figure out how to hold this up here. There was a little jewelry boxes like that. Me and my sister had one. Little wooden jewelry boxes, and then you kind of see the style of the watches there. There's some on chains, a little bit different. Let's see what else we have in here. Got so many pages and so many papers. Okay, the shoes. So, when I was younger, my mom always had a lot of shoes like this. And they matched her outfits. Like, I feel like she had like some different colored ones and stuff. I know definitely like a white and a black and red and blue and things like that. These were like, I feel like the basic shoes, like the ones with the little, just like a little peek. I'm looking for the one that had like a little, yeah, down here. It's like a little peekaboo toe with it, and it had a little bit shorter heels, a kitten heel. Those were very popular, and I feel like we always had those. Those were the main, for me, I feel like that's the main ones I always saw when I was younger. And then these, which I don't know if these were considered granny shoes or not, but I love them. I love them. I would wear all of these. Like, they just look like cool looking loafers to me. But there's some more right there. And look at the little two-toned ones there at the top. Just lost a paper. I don't know which page it fell out of. All right. And these, I thought these were super cute. Okay, look at the ones right here on the top. Look at how they're made, the little pink and white ones. See how they're pleated up and then around the ankle? I thought those were cute. There's those plain little white ones on the next page that we always wore. Kind of like kids, but not. And let's see what's next. I love these. I wish we still had these. So we had some called Roos. Does anybody remember those? Kangaroos. And it says Roos on the shoes. And then we had the other brand, which was Pony over here. I think these were the men's section. Super cute. And then down at the bottom, we have Pony and Converse. So down at the bottom, the top ones are Pony, and the bottom ones are what Converse look like. Same over here. So we had, there's the men's style Converse, and then there was some Pumas right there from the 80s. Super cool. All right. And then in men's, so I have to say the men's and boys is a little lacking. A little bit. I feel like there's not, I don't know, the colors or patterns or something wasn't there as much. But they did have these sweaters, which I thought were kind of cute. And the brand was The Hare, like a rabbit. And so there they are in their sweaters. And you can see the little rabbit symbol. Kind of reminds you of Lacoste or something like that. Izod. But it's a rabbit. So those were kind of cool. And let's see what's next. And then we have, so they wore the sweaters with the plaid shirt under them. So you see them hanging out there. See this little plaid shirt under the sweater. And there's the looks of them down there on bottom. Or just the plain plaid shirt. Can you see it? Very cool. I'm hoping I'm getting that. The books are heavy. I'm hoping I'm getting them up there where you can see them. I'm really hoping so. These were the cool guys. The cool guys in their leather jackets. See, he's super styling right there. And then over here, some more cool guys with cars. So, I guess those were the thing. Genuine leather jackets. And then for activewear, not at all what you're wearing right now. There's some activewear right there. Some USA, good old USA activewear. That's what they were running and doing sports in. And there's another one in here in a minute I'll show you that I thought was kind of funny. And then also I remember the men, so you remember long johns are over there on that page, but I remember the men always needing these, I don't think they sell them as much anymore, but they're called jumpsuits. But they used them for like working on cars and different stuff. So that was like a thing. I remember my husband having them, but I remember my dad having them. And then do you remember the sock monkey? So here it is in the Sears 1984 magazine. There's the sock monkey and there's the socks that go to him. Oh, and these. Okay, I love the striped socks. See the ones over here? I love these. I would wear these right now. So, those are cool. I actually think they're making a comeback. Like they are in stock right now. And then we're getting into kids' clothes. And kids' clothes, okay, I have to say, I must still be a kid at heart because I like the kids' clothes the best. They just get so cute and so pretty. Okay, you know, I just did a video. Well, it's coming after this. My Kato video is coming after this. I kid you not, this little girl's shirt right here with the hearts on it, I had one similar, but it was pink in my Kato video. So anyway, you can see these are little girl outfits. My favorite is this page. I like the reds and blues and the bright colors. And I remember some of this. I remember this style. It's really cute. Look at the little heart. The little heart on that shirt. It's super cute. Little bows on the pants. And these are getting a little bit smaller, but it's so cute. Look at the little girl clothes. Look at the little rainbows, and what else do we got? Hearts and stripes. There's and look at the little heart. See the little shorts, heart and shirt set. How cute is that? And that one has a unicorn on it. And then this one over here, the little jeans have patterns. The little collars have little embroidery on them. They're so cute. They're cute. I remember those when I was younger. And I definitely remember stuff like this. So this is what my mom used to put us in. So me and my sister, we wore these little dresses. I think we wore them all the way up to where we were almost like 10 or something. This girl's probably younger than that, but we wore these little dresses. And there's the little hat and purse that we, every Easter you would pick out like a little hat and purse and shoes and an Easter dress. So that was a thing that was very popular. And the little socks with the lace. So cute. Good times. And then this one, see her little outfit with the little flowery shirt there and the little striped pants and the belt. Look, the kids were wearing belts. That's something you don't see anymore at all, I don't think. I forgot about it until just now. But I don't think that's a thing anymore. And I look at the little Care Bear shirt, the strawberry shortcake shirt, little pants. Look how cute. I love those. Super cute. All right. And then here was the boys. I feel like the boys were a little lacking. They had a lot of stripes and stuff. Their pants did have belts too. I don't see any little boys playing with wearing belts anymore. They don't wearing play clothes or anything wearing belts, but they used to, I guess. And then here's a few that had some patterns on them, but they didn't quite have as much going on for the boys as they did the girls, I guess. So, and these little, here's some little baby ones. Oh, so cute. Look at the little baby ones. Look at the one at the top with the duck. And the little, is it raindrop? Or no, it's little hearts, and he's holding his little umbrella. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I miss coloring books like this too. Remember the good old coloring books that had like the cute pictures like that and the big pictures to color, and it wasn't all that like stressful, ugly looking stuff? I just miss all of these prints and these little outfits. I'm having a hard time holding the book. These little outfits at the bottom. See the little pictures and lace and trim on them? How cute. So cute. And it was like the kids had like whole outfits, you know? It wasn't, today I feel like it's just a t-shirt with some ugly character, like a Minecraft character or something. It's just not pretty. It's not cute, and it's not put together, and I just, I miss it. I miss it. Look at these little jump sets over here. How cute is that? And then over here, I love the colors and the characters. I like the little characters on them. So cute. All right, I'm probably going to say cute about 1,000 times because it is. Okay, and then the bassinets, so the little baby bassinets. Look at the lace trim on them. How sweet is that? I thought that was cute. I love the yellow too. I think ours was more like, ours when we were little was more like this, like just the white one, but I don't think we had the lace stuff on it, but I love the lace ones. I think those are pretty. There's so many pages to get through, and there's a lot to look at, so I hope y'all are having fun looking at it. I love seeing all of these things from the past. It's so interesting to me, and also really makes me miss some of the past. We're supposed to, you know, the Bible said, what does it say? It says something in the Bible about not talking about the good old days, but to press forward, like to the future. Like, we're put here for such a time as this. There's something in there about it. I need to go back and read that. But I do really like, I just like these times. I do. But I'm here for such a time as this. But I still reminisce over the stuff. Look at the little, look at this little stroller at the bottom. Look at that. And look at the one at the top with the teddy bear. Super cute. All right. Okay, here's the workout outfit that I thought was funny. So, not these. Well, this tells you, I mean, that's okay looking, I guess, the little strap shorts, and that tells you kind of what the exercise equipment looked like. But look at this lady. She's down here in her silver full-on outfit working out. Could you imagine going to the gym wearing that? So, that would be just like a regular outfit for me. So, thought that one was interesting. Let's see what else. There were a lot of black and white pages in this book of stuff you could order, but I wasn't showing the black and white pages because I really like the colorful ones. Okay, so me and my family, we rode in this every vacation we had for years and years and years. I can't even remember when we started riding in this. I want to think when I was still in elementary school. My dad got one of these. It was almost like this. And all of our family vacations were in this thing. And I love vans. To this day, I love vans. My husband has tried to talk me out of liking vans. He does not like vans. This was a thing for me growing up. And we did all that. We did the trails. We took the ice box. We had the picnics on the side of the road. There used to be picnic tables from here to wherever. Anywhere you wanted to travel, there used to be like those concrete picnic tables on the side of the road. And people had vans and they drove all over the place traveling and looking at trails and taking pictures, and they would stop for picnics. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't see a lot of those anymore. I actually did pass one the other day, went to Apple Orchard, and I did pass, it was just a little tiny park on the side of the road, and a little tiny park on the side of the road, and it did have the concrete picnic tables. But I think that's a rare thing now. I don't see them as much. So unless you go to an actual state park where there's just tables there, right? But yeah, they used to be everywhere, and it was a very popular thing. And we would ride in the van, and we would go see a trail, hike a trail, or see something to look at, nature, and take pictures and eat a picnic. And we would always stop at visitor center. So we'd find visitor centers everywhere we went. And me and my sister used to love to pick up those little flyers that tell you all the things you can do in that area. We thought those were fun to look at. And and we actually still have this van. My sister is getting ready to, it's the one that she ended up with that she's selling. But guess what? I just got a 1970s Plymouth Voyager. It's a Plymouth Voyager van. The seats are perfect because my papa, he kept everything covered. They look like right when he bought it. It looks brand new on the inside. It has a little piece on the top of the ceiling that's fallen that we have to get fixed. And the outside, it just needs washed. There's a few things we're going to have to do to it, but I'm hoping that we can get it running, and then I'll get to show it to you. But I'm wanting to get it running because I thought, how cool would it be to do some like little hiking trips or some thrifting trips in that. So anyways, it's very interesting, but I just ended up with that. And I think it was a 94 Ford Taurus, which is just a spare car, and it's still got the long seat in the back. I'm gonna have to show you these when we get them over here, but it's got the long seat in the back. And it's just different. Well, I think a lot of cars, I'm thinking, you know how a lot of cars nowadays, they have like the cup holders that you pull down, and there's like separate cushions. I mean, you have a third seat in the middle, but it's just different. This is like a whole seat with no spaces in, no cup holders in. It's just different. And so I can't wait to show you. And I was excited about getting them, and I think they're going to be usable. So we had 3-wheelers. So when I was little, ours didn't look like this. Ours looked way better than this, actually. These are kind of, I think these are a knockoff version of like the real deal, but these were 3-wheelers. We had, my papa and grandma had a red one that they would double up riding on. And then my dad had a yellow one, and he would hook up this little trailer. They had a couple little trailers. He would hook them up, and we had some property in the mountains, and we would ride everywhere. And so me and my sister would get in that trailer, and we'd have to have pillows in there because it's kind of a bumpy ride. And he would pull us all over the mountains, and then my grandparents would ride their 3-wheeler. And we did that for years until one day they changed the roads, and they said that we could no longer have those on the roads. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was sad. But we used to ride. And then people started, the property they have, people started buying up properties in there, and we could no longer go across a lot of that land. But this was like mountain land when I was younger, and we pretty much had free range to all of it. And there were creeks to cross, so Dad would take us across little creeks. We just went all over those mountains, and man, I miss it. I wish we could still do that, but so many things have been sold off, and other people have them now, or like, it's just different. It's different, but those, so much fun, and we used to love that. We used to love just riding and looking at everything, and it was interesting times. I remember one time we were riding, and we stopped, and there was these girls, and they had walked down the creek. They had just been walking the creek and picking up rocks and different things, and they just happened to walk into where we were at, and these young girls that were like our age, and I remember that, and meeting them. And I remember my dad taking us way up on the mountain. There was like this old man, he was like in his 90s, and he literally lived like up in the mountains all by himself, and the road was like, we actually had to get out of the trailer and walk because it was like 2 feet, like holes, like craters. I don't know why this road was like that, but it would be like really high over here and really short over here and really high, and so we ended up having to walk it up. And but I just remember thinking when I was younger, like, man, that man lives up there all by himself. But it was some interesting times. And then one time my dad told me some spring water was spring water, and I don't know, it was a pipe coming down a mountain, and I drank a lot of it, and my stomach hurt really bad for like 2 days. So don't do that. So he did not have that source correct. But anyways, here is some decor. And I remember all this stuff. I remember the bread box. I remember we had the napkin holders. I remember the country ducks. And we had the country ducks. This was the 80s. We still had them in the 90s. That's why I associate them with the 90s. I guess my mom didn't redecorate yet. And then we had these canisters that had these wooden lids on them. So like this is like, I feel like this was our kitchen probably. And there's more of those little country ducks down there. That was a big thing in the 80s, and I used to love them. That's probably where I got my love for ducks from. And I'm looking to see what else is on here. So those are really cool. And then these little canister sets and little teapot. I don't know if anybody remembers any of these, but these are really cute. You can see some of the pot holders there. There's another bread box. This is the canister set at the bottom my mom had. It was this long thing that held all of them in a row like you see right there. We had those for years and years. Yep. Very cool. We must have done, I'm wondering if my mom and grandparents shopped a lot out of Sears, because I'm seeing a whole lot of stuff we had when we were younger. Here's some of the plate sets. There's those. And then you can see some of the flowery ones over here. And let's see here. I liked these. I thought these were pretty. Look at these. There's two different sets. There's a blue set and then kind of a brown set. I think they're really pretty. I don't know which one I like the best. Probably the brown ones, maybe. I love looking at plates. Does anyone else love looking at plates? I just like plates. That's why I have so many. I guess I just like the prints on those as well. But we use all of them, believe it or not. Like one day we'll pick one to use, or we'll pick a different one to use, or we'll mix match them. And really, what I want to do when we move one day, which, yes, I'm thankful for the trailer. I'm thankful for everything we have. But I do plan on moving a house eventually. And I want a big 10-person table with like assorted wood chairs, right? Because how unique and whimsical would that be to have just different ones? Everybody can pick their favorite to sit in. And I want to decorate with all those dishes and candles and flowers. And I just want to do the whole full-on table decoration thing for like holidays and, you know, weekends or something, having people over. I just think that would be neat to do. And I don't feel like we have the setup here. We could kind of do it, but you know what I mean. I just think that would be so cool. So that's kind of my dream, my goal, my plan. And then here is, so some more decor. I love the brass and gold stuff. I mean, I just love it. I've just always liked it. So I love this little horse. I love these birds. You can see some clocks there, some candle holders, some different stuff going on. And then over here, I do remember these. I remember these little tables. They had glass in them and they were brass. I think sometimes we used them for plant holders, or whatever. Just whatever you wanted to put on them. But I do remember those. I remember Mom having one of those. And more decor on this page. Some more brass. Just some vintage goodies. Look at that. And so there's no question about all of these are straight up 80s. This is 1984. So everything in this book was what the normal people, the regular working people, mothers and fathers and, you know, regular homes. This is what they had. This is what a lot of people had. And I went to people's houses and I remember seeing a lot of this stuff too. So these were the good stuff. I just love them. I love all of them. Look at the little 3-table set there. And over here, what is it I like on this page? I like those bird pictures running down. Can you see them? Right there. Oh, and the little, definitely the ducks. That was what I was looking at. The ducks on the bottom, the little bookends, and the horse. I love both of those. Those are so cute. I would decorate with those right now. Of course, you know, my favorite style is late 80s, early 90s. I always say this. So some of this is a little older, but anyway, I love it. I absolutely love all of it. And there's a light on here. man, that I wanted so bad my parents used to have. I just found it in this book, and now I know where they got it. And I had asked for it forever, and I think they just, I don't know if it quit working, they got rid of it, and I never could find it again. But do you remember, if you're from the 80s, do you remember, I remember these cabinets, and they had like these doors and this like mesh stuff on them that you opened up. My dad, he made a lot of wood stuff, so he learned how to, the reason we had some of this is he learned how to make it. He made the bread box, he made the tater box, he had a cabinet he made like that. So he just knew how to do that, which was awesome. The cradle, me and my sister have the cradles. He made those. We both have one. He was just really good at stuff like that. Over here, this is that light. I love this. You see this light on a pole? It literally, you do it the same way as a shower rod or a curtain rod, where you would like squeeze it into place, you know, like make it tight to where it would stay, and it was on the floor to the ceiling, and that's what held it there. And I loved it so much, and it went away and I couldn't find it after that. So I would love to have one. That one was my favorite, but very cool. Okay. See what else is next. Clocks. So clocks were a big thing. My dad had so many. I don't know why he had so many. I think I don't know if he wanted to hear noise or what, because I got to thinking about this. He would set them all. There was like 4, and he would set them all, and one would go off, then the next one go off, then the next one, and then the next one. And I think growing up that was really annoying. And then one day we just forgot that we were hearing it because we got so used to it. But he had one of it was kind of like a square wall clock he had one of. My papa had that one down there at the bottom, the little funny shaped one. And then my grandparents had, and my mom both had that little gold, the little gold one you see right here. And then the cuckoo clock at the top is still in my mom and dad's house. They still have that clock. So, yeah, it was really, clocks were a big deal. And there was a place in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I think he's actually still there, that sells all clocks. And I think that's where my dad and my papa got a lot of theirs. Love the lights. Love the lights. If you just wouldn't believe how many times I've been to thrift stores looking for these. I love the lights. I love these. I want them. I love this one, and I love that one. I just want all of these colorful lights to decorate with. And they're so crazy because so many people are taking these out of their homes and making them modern, and I'm trying to put them back. Like, I love these so much. And these, I love this. See all the different, it's just so neat. And I mean, I'm believing y'all. One day when we move, our house is going to have all this cool stuff in it. This is going to be like amazing. I love this. I love these chandeliers, and I've looked on Amazon, you know, like vintage chandeliers. You cannot find them. You really honestly have to find these in antique stores or vintage stores, because I have not found anywhere that sells anything like that new. I absolutely love that style. And then over here, do you remember these? My neighbor, they had these. It's like a little barrel to me, or wagon wheel, like barrel lights is what they remind me of. But those were very popular, and I remember them having those in their house. Let's see here. What do we have next? So many goodies to look at. And I know the video's getting long, so I probably need to hurry it up. Okay, the flat lights. I love these. Look at the details. Look at the colors and the little prints and everything. So I love these. And when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, you can't find those. So I wish you could, but you can't. And I've looked over and over again. And I always walk away because I'm very unimpressed with the basic, boring lights that they have. But my grandma actually has this rug. I actually do not like this. But this is the exact rug. And she has the long one and she has the little ones. And these are in, well, my grandma. I always say my grandma, but it's my grandparents. They both live there. But this is what's in their house still. In their living room. So, it's interesting. And my neighbor I was just telling you about. I remember this furniture. Does anyone else remember it? This was very popular furniture. I remember them having this set right there. I thought it was cool. And I remember this. Does anyone remember this? It was like, it had the 2 cushions we could sit. So I don't even know, what was that called? I don't even know what that was called, but I don't know. But I remember it. And then let me get to the next. The desk that we had looked like this. And it has a little knobs on it, and you pull that down and it closes up the front of it. So if you've been in antique stores, you've probably seen that. But I like them. They're still my favorite. I think they're cute. I love all the older things that, man, my whole house, when I move, my whole house is going to look like it came right out of this era, because that's what I like. That is what I like. So here are some curtains. Probably not in the curtains though. I probably wouldn't style it like this, but they are pretty. You can see how all the little lace and the choices in colors there. I did like this. So this was definitely, I feel like my mom did have this print in the house when I was younger. So that I do remember. And some really lacy ones. This part is not my style, but I just wanted to show it to you so you can see how froofy it really was. Like, I mean, we really did some lace. That's really not my style. That's a little more, I tend to like rustic, and I like Victorian vintage rustic, kind of a mixture, whimsical style, and kind of some dark academia. But I'm not big on like the really froofy lace. That's not really my thing. I think sometimes my daughter likes that though. Paris, the one that's with me, she likes some of that stuff sometimes. This one I thought was cute, just to show you. Okay, look, we're rocking the carpet in the bathroom again right here. Carpet on everything. Oh my goodness. But I did like the rainbow colors. I thought that was interesting. So this is the real deal. This is the real 80s. So I don't miss the carpet in the bathrooms. I think that was a good idea to get rid of that. Here's some of the country, the wood stuff again. There's another bathroom with the wood stuff, and we're almost to the end. This is like full on prairie style. Look at that. Prairie style bedroom. And solid yellow, y'all. Did anyone have this? Like solid, bright, solid yellow lace, everything in your bedroom. My favorites, okay, this one was really cute. It's more like of a quilted country look on that one. And then we're getting to my favorites. I'll be honest with you, my favorites are going to be the kids again, probably. Probably so. Okay, this one was cute. It is kind of a darker rust color, but look at the little canopy thing that goes over it. That's kind of neat. And I'm getting there. We're almost to the end. Okay, I love these pages. Oh my goodness. But this, like, look. Okay, here's your Smurfs. There's your Smurfs bed set. Can't get that anymore for kids. It's so cute. I love, here was Rainbow Bright. Rainbow Bright is the first one right here. I don't know if you can you see it right there? I love this one. So this one's my favorite. Look at that. I love that. It's all poofy and quilted, and I love the stuff. If you'll notice, every time I say I love something, it's something that has simple pictures. It's pictures, but it's simple. And I love that. That was probably my favorite thing in the whole book right there. And then here we have, here's all the kids stuff. Oh, it's so cute. We've got, it looks like, okay, for some reason I quit recording and I've already done 43 minutes. So I'm hoping the very end of this you get. But anyway, we were on like the last couple of pages. This one, I just absolutely loved it. That one right there, I just think is adorable. There's a Garfield. And then over here is Mickey. And what is at the bottom? Sports. And then I think that was Holly Hobby. That one right there on the end. And I hate when I run out of time. I just need so much time to do these. Okay, this was just giving you an example of like a whole room. Maybe see the whole room? And I accidentally messed up at the beginning. So I said this was a Sears catalog. This is actually a Montgomery Ward. catalog. And it was with all the Sears catalogs that I have. And so I just assumed, and then I saw it a while ago. So here is a kitchen. There's gives you an idea of how they decorated. You see the background and everything in it. And then this one. And that pretty much, I think, sums it up. And so this was the way it looked. Spring and Summer 1984. And it says Montgomery Ward right there. So I should have looked. But in the beginning of the video, I said Sears. It's Montgomery Ward. So anyways, which is similar actually, but let's see. The other one I'm going to do is actually a Sears. So I did have that one right. So, but, sorry for the confusion, but I hope you enjoyed looking at these. And, it still was 1984. It was the real deal for 1984, whether it was Sears or Montgomery Ward. But I hope you enjoyed looking at them, and I'll have another one soon on the actual Sears catalog. And who knows what's next. So yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I have to pick up all my little pieces of paper that I threw on the floor now that came out of this big old honking book. Look how big this thing is. It's hard to like hold up and turn the pages. Oh, there's your backside. But yeah, I'll see you next time. And I just hope you have fun looking at these like I do. And thank you for watching and reminiscing with me. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.